Oh, that's what I get for being cocky, but woo! What a win, boys. Yeah. Huge win last night. The Montreal Canadiens defeat the Vancouver Canucks 6-7-3. That puts the Habs record at 3-0-2 on the season. They've collected 8 out of a possible 10 points on this road trip to start. We've got one game left to close out this series against the Vancouver Canucks. That's Saturday at 8 o'clock, and the Montreal Canadiens will be heading into that one first in the Canadian division. Ha ha ha! You love to see it. Now, this video here is going to be a little bit different. Obviously, you're going to get my game reaction for the game last night, and we have a lot to talk about, but I'm also going to preview this upcoming game Saturday, as well as go over the Montreal Canadiens statistics as a team and player statistics after these first 5 games into the season. And I'll also do a very quick review of what's going on in the Canadian division right now towards the end of the video. So let's get right into it here. Habs 7, Canucks 3 last night. And first and foremost, Tyler Toffoli. What an addition to the Montreal Canadiens. Him and Armia absolutely went off last night, and it was impressive to see. Montreal rolling all 4 lines, and the guys are buying into their assignments. We can use that first line, DANAULT, Tatar, Gallagher, to shut down any line in the NHL. Then we've got the Suzuki, Drouin, Anderson line that got up on the board last night as well, which we'll get into that. But and then we don't need to rely on a one set of players each night. The production can come from anywhere. Love what we saw from Armia and Toffoli last night, as well as Kotkaniemi looking good. And they took a lot of heat to start the season, unjustified, because they've been playing really well to start. And Toffoli, new to the team. It was going to take these guys a while to gel, and it was unfortunate to see some of the heat piling onto him already just a few games in, as well as for Armia, who he has been a really strong third-line right winger for us the last couple years, and it'll be no different this season. However, really unfortunate what happened to him at the end of the game there. Absolute greaseball play by Tyler Myers. Unacceptable. End of a game. The Habs are up 6-2, clearly headhunting, and by this hit is the exact type of hit they're trying to get out of the game. The definition of it. So the DOPS better take a look at this, and at the minimum, Tyler Myers deserves a 2-game suspension. Montreal Canadiens fans here are not asking the league to throw the book at Tyler Myers. They're asking the league to do what is right here and protect the players, because that's a blatant example of a very dangerous hit that has resulted now in an injury to our best player last night. And yeah, really unfortunate to see how that played out. And the hit itself, Tyler Myers comes in blindside. Yoel Armia, he did not change position whatsoever before the hit. He's focused on the play, on the puck. Tyler Myers comes in, blindside hits him. The main point of contact here is, at the same time, it's head and body. So to me, this is an open and shut case. Tyler Myers gets a couple games. Never know, maybe he gets more if the league wants to crack down. But unacceptable hit, and it definitely needs to be addressed by the league, and I'm expecting it to be addressed by the league. I'll be severely, severely disappointed if it is not. Tyler Myers did get the 5 minutes and the game misconduct there, but it was the end of the game anyway. That means absolutely nothing. By no means can this go ignored. And like I said, it resulted in an injury. Armia leaves with a concussion. Hopefully it's not too bad of a head injury here, but that's really unfortunate, especially after he finishes the night with 2 goals and 2 assists. Great game for Yoel Armia, but really unfortunate ending, and I think it's obvious that discipline is warranted in this case. Now back to Toffoli and what he's done so far this season. I mean, goal scoring, he's leading the NHL in goals right now after those last couple games. He's also tied for the league lead in points along with Jeff Petrie. But it's very special what Toffoli's doing. For the most of the season so far, he's been our most utilized forward. He plays on the penalty kill. He's strong 5-on-5, and he's one of our best power play players now as well. So just a great add to the Montreal Canadiens at a bargain price. Just absolutely fantastic management from Marc Bergevin, bringing him in here. You love to see him getting up on the board. And Jeff Petrie, just mentioned him as well. I cannot believe how much better he keeps getting year over year. The last 3 to 4 years here, he continuously improves on his game, improves on his skating. His transition ability up the ice is got to be the best, one of the best in the league in terms of puck-moving defenseman. He's physical, lays the body. He's getting even stronger defensively. I cannot recall too many mistakes from him this season. If he continues up this play, offensively and defensively, there is no reason why he can't be top 3 for Norris this year, if not the winner of it. It's really, really impressive what Jeff Petry's doing. And at this point, it's hard not to argue that he's the Habs' #1 defenseman. Let's quickly go over the game here. It looked like it was going to be another game where the Habs were just going to trade chances back and forth. Habs would, mostly have the upper hand 5-on-5, and the Canucks would dominate on the power play. That's how it looked after the first. It ended up being 2-2. Started with a goal from Tyler Toffoli. Scrum in front early in the game. Armia ends up getting the puck over to Toffoli, and he just finishes it off with a really nice release over Thatcher Demko's shoulder there. But then Horvat picks up one. Shea Weber had a chance to clear the zone there, and he ends up trying to go off the boards. It didn't get out, obviously, and the Canucks pick it up, and Horvat scores from Myers and Hoglander. And Horvat, the finishing ability on this guy has become something really special for the Vancouver Canucks. Let me get the shorty from Yoel Armia, and it starts with a terrible Nate Schmidt giveaway. It's pretty much him, Yoel, and Toffoli in the Canucks defensive zone, and Schmidt just hands it right over to Tyler Toffoli, who makes a heads-up play, seeing Armia streaking in. He comes in on a breakaway and finishes it off. Great shot by Yoel Armia, but good job on Tyler Toffoli and Yoel Armia pressuring the puck carrier there. Marc Bergevin said pre-season that he wanted his penalty killers to be aggressive. And now look, they lead the league in shorthanded goals with 4. The next closest team is a few teams tied with 1. It's really impressive to see how the Habs are following through on what GM Marc Bergevin asked, and they're finishing off plays on the penalty kill. There was another one later in this game. We'll get into that. Then to end the period, we get Horvat on the power play. Pretty much the same play they made the other night as well. Just Horvat in that bumper spot, but he ain't bumping it. He's finishing from that spot. This time the pass, though, came from the half wall from JT Miller. Great play there to finish it off. So we go into the second period tied up 2-2, and we get another shorthanded goal. So the 4th of the season for the Habs. This one, Tyler Toffoli off a Elias Pettersson giveaway in the offensive zone right at the blue line. And that leads to Armia streaking up the ice. Great takeaway. And he gets to Toffoli for a breakaway, and it's in the back of the net. Then Anderson, we get the baseball bat goal. Started with a very nice heads-up pass from Jonathan Drouin. You love to see him up on the board. He gets it to Suzuki there, and Suzuki tries to go backhand on a partial break. Puck flies up in the air, and heads-up play by Josh Anderson, showing off the hand-eye and waiting for that puck to come down below the crossbar, and he puts it into the empty net. Just a great play there, and I'm pumped to see Josh Anderson back up on the board. Hadn't scored since the first couple in his debut for the Habs against the Leafs, so good to see him up there, and that was an important goal, making it 4-2 for the Habs. Then we get Jake Evans. What a player this is. Cannot say enough good things about 7th round pick Jake Evans. Filling in perfectly at that 4th C spot. And as a rookie, he's becoming much stronger in the face-off dot. Great skater, very smart player, and he finishes off a play from Paul Byron here. Nice pickup from Paul Byron, and then he throws it in front of the net, and Jake Evans snipes it top cheese. Love to see that. Makes it 5-2, and Lehkonen gets an assist on that as well. I love seeing Lehkonen put points up on the board because he's just such an important player to this team. Defensively, 5-on-5 on the forecheck, winning puck battles, constantly closing time and space on his opponents. The Habs in general do a really good job of that. They're first on pretty much every puck, and in those 50-50 puck battles as well, they're winning a lot of them because of their size, because of their stick work, and so I'd love to see Lehkonen get up on the board for playing that style of hockey. Then to close out the period, we get Yoel Armia, a nice play though by Jesperi Kotkaniemi with the takeaway. He's skating up the offensive zone. He reads the play perfectly, just picks off a pass and gets it to Yoel Armia, who's in front of the net, and Yoel Armia with the toe drag and backhander in. Fantastic goal from Yoel Armia. This line was flying tonight. So then in the third, we get a Brandon Sutter goal, and he absolutely walks Alex Romanov. Now, as good as Romanov has been so far this season, and he has been not just good, but really, really impressive for another rookie on this Montreal Canadiens team. Looks like a veteran in this league. However, he is not. So these types of plays, just like the other one against Vancouver in the first game of the series, when he got caught on a neutral zone pinch there, kind of a bad change, bad read. This one, he just gets absolutely walked. And as a rookie, those things are going to happen from time to time. That's why he's on the third pair. He's going to learn, gain more experience. But outside of that, he has been a fantastic player for the Montreal Canadiens. And he played the highest minutes on the team last night as a rookie. He even edged out Weber and Petry. Really impressive by Alexander Romanov. And then close the game, Montreal gets that power play, the 5-minute major from the Myers hit. Sherratt finishes one on the power play, great slap shot. I think he snuck it 5-hole on Thatcher Demko there. Now on the night, the Habs outshoot the Canucks heavily, 42-17. And I had a lot of good things to say about the Canucks as a team in my last video. I still believe in them as a team. I really hope they have success this season, but they've got a lot to work on defensively. In that first game, they were not good defensively at all. In this game, of course, they weren't either. Habs were the team that really tightened up and really showed what they're made of as a unit in this game. So hopefully the Canucks can get it together here, but not until after the game Saturday. Montreal in the faceoff dot tonight, really good, and it wasn't DANAULT leading the way, so that's a really, really good indicator of the Montreal Canadiens young forwards working on their ability in the faceoff dot. Suzuki 61%, KK 62%, Evans 57%, leading the way. DANAULT was down at 27%. Now I'm sure he was facing off against Bo Horvat most of the night. I don't even have to look to find that out. 1 for 9 on the power play last night. You know, that probably could have been better considering the amount of opportunities they had. But, you know, at least we got the one up on the board. And I really like the puck movement from the Habs, especially in the third period there. They were absolutely just all over the Canucks, just really utilizing all the space up there, top of the blue line, moving the puck well to each other, really gaining some chemistry out there on the power play. So, and good to see Sherratt finish one towards the end of the game. 4 for 5 on the PK. Really, really good to see, because overall, through these first 5 games, we're operating at 76%. That definitely has to be way, way better. However, what I will say, we faced some of the best power plays so far in the Canadian division, and we did a good job shutting down McDavid and Draisaitl the other night. So then, again, to go 4 for 5 last night, you know, that's a good positive. But overall, hopefully once we start facing teams like the Sens, maybe Winnipeg, we can bump up that penalty kill percentage to a higher rate. And Jake Allen, 3 goals on 17 shots. Obviously not his best performance. But you know what? It's nice to have a goaltending performance that, you know, isn't great and still close out a game. And in dominating fashion as well. So that's good to see. Now, we'll have Price in next game, but I think both of these goalies, you know, aren't really playing at their best right now. I mean, Allen had a great start in his first one. But, yeah, even Price, you know, some weak goals, maybe you could say, in that game against Vancouver the other night. So if we can get these guys back to the quality of play that we know they are capable of, this Habs team will be unstoppable. Now, the thing is, though, Montreal, as good as their offense has been, they lead the league in goals for after their first 5 games of the season. They lead the league in shots for, and they're top of the league, I think top 5 in scoring chances for. However, chances against are really high. 6th in the league in shots against, 4th in the league in goals against. So Montreal not necessarily leaving much to desire out there in terms of defensive play. That also can be better for the Montreal Canadiens, including the PK at 76%. But they're definitely a very exciting team to watch. But defensively, they've got to hone this in here, that's for sure. Before I get into a little officiating rant here, I just want to make a call out. Joel Edmondson leads the league in plus minus. I'm loving what he's bringing out there. I mean, you know, the odd mistake, you know, some bad coverage, you know, here and there maybe on the penalty kill. But outside of that, I mean, this guy brings the physicality, and it's shown in his stats. And people want to, you know, talk down about the plus minus stat and say it's useless. I totally disagree. I think you shouldn't use it to judge an individual. I think plus minus is more of a team reflective stat, or a line or a D-pair respective stat. And it's showing that Joel Edmondson, 5-on-5, that's another thing. Plus minus is a 5-on-5 stat. Joel Edmondson, 5-on-5, is more likely to be on the ice for a goal than not. He leads the league in plus minus right now. You can't just ignore that. So that's impressive for Joel Edmondson. I know his advanced stats don't look the greatest, but that's the thing with advanced metrics. It's not the be-all, end-all. You cannot use it for everything. Joel Edmondson is having an impact out there. Part of it might be Jeff Petrie kind of leading the way on that D pair, but it's no fluke that Joel Edmondson's top of the league in plus minus. Now the officials. Okay. And I think it's a good time to talk about this because it's after a win. I'm not sour about officiating because of a loss here. It's got to be better. This is just, it's getting a little ridiculous. I mean, Montreal did get some opportunities last night, so I will say that. They were calling penalties on the Vancouver Canucks as well. So you love to see it. Finally, the Habs are actually getting some chances on the power play. However, some of these calls that are going against the Habs are questionable at best. I mean, at first he got the Drouin one last night. He's just got his stick underneath the legs of the player there. I think JT Miller, if I'm not mistaken. But regardless of who it was, he's just trying to sneakishly steal the puck going between the legs of the guy. He didn't hook him. And as a defensive player, the Canuck was still able to make that defensive play easily. He wasn't hindered whatsoever in the defensive zone there. And he moved the puck up the ice, and Drouin gets a call there. Now, okay, I can live with that one if you want to call it a hook. Whatever. But then we get the one on Joel Edmondson. The puck is coming, it's a pass right to Tanner Pearson. He chose not to go for the pass. However, the puck goes right into his feet, and Joel Edmondson times up. A perfect hit, a clean hit to the chest. Great body check. Now, yeah, the puck might have left the area like a half a second, but this is hockey, okay? Like, is the NHL going that soft that you can't lay a clean body check on a player where the puck is right there? They call it interference. I don't know. That, to me, that's like Tanner Pearson laying a pick on the puck there, and you disallow the defender to be able to make a play. So why wouldn't you go for the body in that sense? I mean, go for the puck or for the body there. Anyway, but you know what? I'll live with that one as well, okay? It is what it is. But Nick Suzuki there getting called for a slash after he was hauled down with a trip, and he's getting up, and his skate or his stick just kind of taps the guy on the ankles as he's skating away. It's ridiculous. How do you miss that first trip and then call Suzuki on the slash? It's ridiculous, man. Now, I'm totally okay with the officials not making calls on our opposition or putting the whistles away and just letting the boys play. But if you're going to do that, stop making these chintzy calls on the Habs. Anyway, let the players dictate how these games are going. Enough of the officials getting way too involved. Now, like I said, we got the Canucks on Saturday to close out this series, and it should be an interesting one, especially for the Habs, how they're going to utilize their depth here. We're going to be going into the taxi squad for some players, as Paul Byron also left injured, took a Shea Weber shot off the foot. Hate to see that happen. He's listed as day-to-day right now, so hopefully he gets an MRI and it's clean. And, Paul has been taking a bit of hate here this season, which is also unfortunate because he's in a fourth line role. He offers a ton of speed. He's strong defensively. For a small guy, he's great on the forecheck. He's always laying the body, and he plays at a high pace. This is a good player. I mean, I don't get why Habs fans expect guys to just be lighting the lamp constantly. Every single player can't be putting points up on the board each night. Like, guys have to play the role, and Paul Byron has been playing his role really well this season. Unfortunate to see him go down, but it looks like we're going to get to see some Corey Perry in the lineup, especially considering Armia's out with a concussion now. He's going to see long-term injured reserve for, at least 7 to 10 days, but hopefully it's not a serious concussion. But nevertheless, it's going to be exciting to see Corey Perry come in and for us to utilize that depth that we've been talking about all offseason that Marc Bergevin brought in here. A leader in Corey Perry coming in. He's got the net front presence that he can bring, the deflections in front of the net. He's also absolute prick to play against. And, he'll drop the mitts now at this point in his career if he needs to as well. So it's going to be exciting to have him in. I think with Armia out, you slot Corey Perry up on the right wing with Kotkaniemi and Toffoli. That would be an absolute fun line to watch. Then on the fourth line, you got to think either Frolik's coming in or Paling's coming in. Me personally, I'd love to see Ryan Paling finally get a chance here, get some reps in, because this guy can't be sitting all season. He's a former first-round pick. We got to develop this guy. And if he's not going to be playing in the NHL this season, get him down to Laval, get him in a top 6 role at center, and get him playing, because his trade value is going down, sitting on the taxi squad, and we just can't do that to this guy. So I'd love to see Paling come in here, play left wing on that fourth line with Jake Evans. I think it'd be interesting to see if these two can have some chemistry there, some low-key offensive chemistry on the fourth line, because we're continually rolling 4 lines. Our forward group, no one really stands far and above in terms of minutes. I mean, most nights, the forward with the most minutes usually is hovering around 18. That's great to see, and the forward with the least is usually around 13, 14. So we're right in the pocket in terms of sharing our minutes, so it would be nice to see if Paling, Evans, and Lehkonen could do some heavy forechecking and make some plays there on the fourth line. But it might end up being Frolik. Claude Julien might go with the veteran hand there. But to me, I don't know. I feel like he should be the journeyman in this situation. Stay on the taxi squad a little bit longer. I think Paling might offer a little bit more, and it's time for him to get some ice time. I think it's going to be a great game on Saturday. Hockey night in Canada. Cannot wait for it. I mean, I hope that the Montreal Canadiens send a message here. Especially after that Tyler Myers hit. I mean, the league is going to do what they need to do, and hopefully he gets suspended. But I mean, if he doesn't, he's going to pay the price, and he's probably going to have to pay the price even if he does get suspended the next time that the Habs and Canucks meet. But Montreal needs to send a message to the league tomorrow night. I want to see Montreal play tough. I want them to finish every single one of their checks and show the Canucks, show this Canadian division that they will not be pushed around. And if you're going to take runs at our best players, and we got a lot of them, you're going to have to answer to the bell. I want to see that on Saturday night, but we got to keep the discipline in check because that's been hurting us all season. Did a lot better last night with it, even with the phantom calls. But yeah, definitely discipline's got to be better. So don't go overboard in asserting your dominance on Saturday night. And let's keep this offensive chemistry going through all four lines. It'd be great to see another line step up here. Maybe the DANAULT, Tatar, Gallagher take a turn like they did a few nights ago and put some up on the board. This is a really, really exciting Habs team to watch. I love what they're doing offensively. They're scoring in all areas, 5-on-5, penalty kill, power play, but definitely got to get that defensive game going. And I think a big part of that will be Shea Weber and Ben Sherratt kind of getting their game back on track. They haven't been bad, but they haven't been great. So would love to see them kind of get back to where they should be. And when that happens, watch out for this Habs team. Now, a quick division review here. There's a lot going on in the Canadian division. Why don't we go into the Toronto Maple Leafs here? Some interesting stuff going on between Sheldon Keefe and Austin Matthews. They're rolling Austin Matthews right now, 25 minutes a night, 23, 24, 25 minutes a night. That's a little crazy. So especially for a forward, even star forwards, you look at McKinnon, McDavid, the most they usually play is 22, 23, unless, you know, there's the odd night where they jump up there. 25 is a lot for a forward. So I find that really weird. I think that time management isn't quite there for Keefe right now, or I don't know if maybe Matthews is staying out longer than he should, or what's going on there. But some interesting comments for Matthews after the loss to the Edmonton Oilers. Says they shouldn't be just trying to contain two players, and you know, they should be trying to get their offensive game going. But I somewhat agree, but it's kind of nice to see the Leafs actually defending for once. I actually don't mind that, but it's unfortunate it's come at a sacrifice to their offense. But I think the big thing is the Leafs don't have scoring depth right now. And that's just the honest truth. With the loss of Kapanen and Johnsson, you're relying on some guys to score goals that's not necessarily what they've done in the NHL in the past here. Or they did it in the past and now they're not capable of it. So, yeah, and then Keefe comes back and he kind of doesn't fire back at Matthews, but he kind of says, yeah, we have to play smart against these guys. We can't just be running and gunning. And then the next day, Matthews starts practice and leaves. So maybe he is just exhausted from all the minutes and he couldn't practice. I would hope nothing's going on between him and Keefe there, but it's hard to say with Matthews. I mean, he butted heads with Babcock, and I mean, who didn't? But the last thing you want to see is a little controversy here between Keefe and Matthews. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. I'll say that. But the Leafs have the Oilers tonight, and they're going to be looking to have a really strong performance, especially after the Habs went 2-0 against them. And the Oilers are going to want to build off that win against the Leafs, so and play more of a team game. And they defended well against the Leafs as well. So that should be a really, really good game tonight. I'm looking forward to that one. And then finally, I think in a couple days, we're going to see Calgary play again. They've only played like 3 games this season. It's weird. I think they got their break, their 7-day break early or something. I don't know what's going on there, but they're going to play the Leafs here in a couple days, and that should be a really tough test for the Leafs because I really like Calgary as a team, and I'm looking forward to when the Habs match up against them back at home after this road trip. Winnipeg beat Ottawa last night handedly. Winnipeg could be a dark horse in this division. Paul Maurice is such a strong coach. You know, their defense, drops off in terms of depth after that top pair with Pionk and Morrissey. But they're still managing to put up points and score. And you can never count them out. So that's good to see from the Winnipeg Jets. That about covers it all. I mean, this Canadian division continues to be an absolute treat, and I'm loving that the Habs are leading the way. Woo! Go Habs, go, baby. If you like these videos, hit the subscribe and the like button down below. Boom! And you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at SCOTIANCANADIEN. Cheers, guys. Thank you for watching to the end of this video. You found our little secret here. Carl sent in a picture of his man cave. Check it out. And if you want to have yourself featured on this channel, send me a video of yourself celebrating a goal, celebrating a win, or your man cave, and I'll chuck it at the end. So thanks, Carl, and go Habs go.